What's up, everyone? We're back to bring you a Disney movies tier list today. Let me tell you, these movies have defined the childhoods of generations. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a person who doesn't have at least one good memory of watching a Disney movie.
Yeah, boy, that Walt Disney was one of those rare golden chads who only pops up once every generation, like Akira Toriyama or Tolkien. He was a visionary of the highest order.
So, are we going to start at the very beginning?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs came out in 1937. Wild, really? That shit was pre-World War II.
It was literally the first ever feature-length animated movie, and Walt and the gang came out swinging like Saitama. This shit was a work of art, literally groundbreaking work, which no one believed would ever work. And guess what? The madman fucking did it.
Yes, he fucking did. This movie is definitely a Chad.
The one that came after was even better, in my opinion. Pinocchio was more ambitious, with iconic music and characters which are still loved today.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Joseph.
Fantastic.
The film was also quite frightening for children.
Oh, fuck yeah. I pissed my pants extra hard when I saw that epic fucking whale.
Back then, they didn't shy away from darker themes in kids' shows, and I think they were all the better for it.
Totally.
Pinocchio is a fucking Chad movie, 100%.
Now, what about Fantasia?
Let me tell you about Fantasia. It was an example of a movie studio actually creating art for art's sake. Disney created these moving tableaus which illustrated some of the most enduring pieces of classical music from history. You would never see this get made today. The cost and the time it took to create, plus the patience and sophistication of the audience which the movie expected, just goes to show how far society has fallen. This film was a real piece of art. No fucking question, it's a Chad.
I don't know, dude. I kind of like to have fun when I go to the movies.
What's not fun about the Nutcracker Suite?
It's boring.
Don't be a fucking Philistine.
If I wanted to watch classical music for like 2 hours straight, well, I never would.
Donald, I understand where you're coming from. Fantasia is a great and ambitious work of art, but it's not up there with the Chads. Let's give it a safe, great rating and move along.
Imbeciles!
Thanks, Joey. I'll be happy to talk about Dumbo now. It's one that I enjoyed as a kid. Again, it had great songs and some memorable scenes. It was also pretty sad sometimes.
It's a pretty good movie, but not one I've returned to too much as an adult.
It's a Chad film. All of Disney's early works are Chad.
I'm thinking it is a great film rather than Chad. Remember, there's some really fucking iconic movies coming down the line, and I don't think Dumbo is going to hold up.
Whatever, do it.
Okay, some of these here that we haven't seen, so let's just put them down here. If anyone knows them, you could comment to let us know which one to watch when we order Domino's Pizza later.
Ichabod Crane was pretty great.
True, I loved The Headless Horseman. That was one of those weird and scary movies which really stuck with me through the years.
It's nostalgic for me, too. I had it on VHS. I'm going to put it in great, too. This was a golden period for Disney.
Okay, up next is Cinderella, released in 1950. This was another iconic movie with some memorable songs, God-tier, hand-drawn animation, and really it just added to the pantheon of Disney princesses and iconography. It's a Chad.
Really, Donald?
Yes.
A Chad?
Yes.
Cinderella is a Chad?
The Chadliest.
I don't fucking think so.
You fuck!
Yes, it's a well-made film for little girls.
These films are enjoyable by boys and girls, young and old.
This wasn't Chadly. This was great, but not Chadly.
I agree with Obama.
Now, you're going to tell me that Alice in Wonderland isn't a Chad
No.
film.
It's pretty decent, but definitely not as great as the others so far.
I never really liked it.
You guys are sad, strange little men, and you have my pity.
It's just decent. Let's move on to an actual Chad. Peter Pan. This movie had it all. Swashbuckling, flying, Captain Hook and Smee, plus a cheeky bit of casual racism.
It's very quaint by today's standards, but Captain Hook is a fucking baller. This movie has got to be pretty up there.
To me, it's one of the greats. A film that defines the Disney brand.
It's great, but it isn't a Chad.
Why not?
I think that Chads either have to be rewatchable as fuck or have made a major contribution to culture. I think PDP is great, but it wasn't groundbreaking or anything like that.
Fine, I hear what you're saying. I'll place it here.
Lady and the Tramp is mid.
Wow, okay. I think it's better than mid. What about the meatball scene?
True, but it doesn't make it all that amazing. I'd give it decent to low grade.
I'm cool with that. I never get an urge to watch Lady and the Tramp, to be fair.
I'm going to shove it in decent and move on to Sleeping Beauty, which, if I'm being real, I don't love. It's got a great bit of sword and sorcery and a pretty scary ending, but I was never too excited about it.
Oh, come on, it's great. Maleficent is a bad bitch, fucking terrifying. It's a film which has only gotten better with time. This belongs in Chatted.
It's great. Don't know about Chatted.
I'm going to give it a high grade.
101 Dalmatians?
Cruella is iconic, but it's a mid-film.
Agreed.
Oh, shit, we missed Bambi.
Bambi is epic.
It's so fucking sad. When Bambi's mom gets shot and he's walking around crying, "Mother, mother," It breaks my heart. It truly does. I think I'm going to cry now just thinking about it.
As a child, that scene is impactful. But go back on YouTube and watch it again. I promise you, it will affect you. Anyone who has experienced loss in their life will feel the pain which Bambi experiences. The tragic loss of a parent or any loved one is one of those experiences which causes unbearable pain. A loss like that can never be forgotten.
It's especially poignant and sad when seen through the innocent eyes of a child.
Yes, we often think that children don't understand death, but the truth is they do, and they feel that loss in ways they cannot comprehend. A sudden loss of an important person, be it a parent or any other core figure, it causes an echo throughout a person's life, an echo which plays out in the vastness of a child's ever-developing consciousness until one day it becomes a sound as loud as thunder.
Dude.
I love you, dude.
I love you too, both of you.
You expressed that very beautifully, Donald. I mean, isn't that what art is all about? About understanding our feelings, our grief, and our confusion? Ultimately, we are the only creatures on this planet that know we're going to die. And it fucks with us. We either have to live in denial or face it head on. But either way, we don't make it. Bambi expressed this grief for us before we even knew it.
It's a definite, Chad. Fuck it. Put it at the top.
Okay, moving on to The Sword and the Stone.
I think I've watched it like 3 times and I still can't remember anything that happens.
Same. I think I'll give it a decent. But honestly, I never gave a fucking shit about it.
Move it to not good. I don't like it either.
Why the fuck not? We're all gonna die anyway.
Damn, Bambi got you tripping, dude.
No way, dude. Look, Jungle Book was a fucking good one. The Bare Necessities was an obvious banger.
It came out in 1967, the height of the swinging 60s. This was the era of the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Glenn Campbell, The Doors, Van Morrison, the Beatles again, the Monkees, and Aretha Franklin. Times had changed since Disney started up their racket, and they tried to capitalize on that with their inclusion of the vulture characters who had British accents and were obviously the fucking Beatles doing some weird kind of barbershop quartet shit. I loved it. The 60s were lit.
Yeah, and I loved the elephants.
It's a great movie, true. Let's pop it about here. Not the greatest thing to come out of Disney, but pretty good shit.
What do you guys think about The Aristocrats?
I think it is pathetically mid and definitely doesn't live up to the rest of the film so far.
Do you care to offer your reasoning for this rating?
Nope.
Fair enough. I don't like it either.
Fine, but Robin Hood is shit too then?
No, it's fucking amazing.
I love Robin Hood for many reasons. 1, Robin Hood is a slick motherfucker. 2, Little John is an absolute unit and a gigachad too. 3, Prince John and Hiss are legitimately good, yet pathetic baddies. 4, this film has heart, and the voice acting carries the less than amazing animation. 5, the songs are great and often heart-wrenching. Love Goes On is a beautiful love song and was even featured in Wes Anderson's fantastic Mr. Fox, which I thought was a wonderful homage to the king of all Fox movies, Robin Hood. This move is chatted.
Can't argue with that speech, dude. Put it up there, you golden lad.
Okay.
Okay, now what about Winnie the Pooh?
Never seen it. Probably very mid. Although Tigger is a top Chad.
My Tigger.
Shut the fuck up.
Oops. Sorry, I forgot you confiscated my N-word pass.
Yeah, dude, you used it too fragrantly.
What y'all saying about The Rescuers? I always kind of liked it.
I don't know, man. This was around the time when every fucking Disney film seemed to have a mouse in it. And I don't mean Mickey. There was Robin Hood, that had a bunch of mice, and Cinderella had that little fat-ass mouse, and other mice who were Cindy's friends. And this was all about mice. And not long after, the rescuers came, Basil, the great mouse detective. And even Disney's rivals, Amblin, made American Tail, once again an animated movie all about mice. What was with this obsession with mice in the 70s and 80s? I honestly think that this was the reason Disney was failing around this time. Someone was fucking into mice in a weird way.
Well, I think it's a decent film.
Dumbo also had a mouse character, by the way.
I don't give a shit.
I like mice.
Then there was Mousetrap, Stuart Little, Tom and Jerry, Ratatouille.
That's a rat, you fool.
Anyway, I think Rescuers is mid, and I also think The Fox and the Hound is mid as fuck.
I have to agree, dude. All the films from this era of Disney were kind of forgettable. I mean, maybe they weren't so bad, but they pale in comparison to the goated era which was on the horizon. I think Basil, the Great Mouse Detective, was decent. Black Cauldron, I didn't even see because it looked so mid. And then Oliver and Company was just a shit dog movie. And if you think that mouse movies are overdone, just wait until I start on a dog movies list.
Oliver and Company had a legendary cast. Billy Joel, Bette Midler, and Cheech from Cheech and Chong.
You know he smoked a few doobies during the making of.
I don't remember a fucking thing about this movie because it was literally not good, and that's where it's going. Cheech or no Cheech.
You're such a ball buster.
Shut up, Joe.
Now here's when things get spicy. The year's 1989, and Disney has hired new blood, Howard Ashman and Alan Menken.
Turbo Chads.
These dudes came in and reinvented Disney songs. They wrote the music to The Little Mermaid,
Epic.
a movie which has many, many memorable songs. Under the Sea,
Amazing.
Kiss the Girl,
Straight fire.
Poor Unfortunate Souls,
Okay.
Part of Your World.
Now that's chatted.
These were great songs, and along with a tight script and beautiful animation, Disney produced a game-changing film which would herald in what would become known as the Disney Renaissance, a period when Disney simply could not miss.
I think that, yes, The Little Mermaid was a pretty wonderful film, but for me personally, it isn't up there as a top tier movie. It is important, though, so I'd argue it has a place in great.
Sebastian is a Chad character, but yes, you're probably right overall, Joey.
This movie was indeed great and a big win for Disney. Now let's place it around here, which is very respectable, I think. And then let's immediately put Rescuers 2 in not seen, because I don't think anyone's ever fucking saw it.
That's probably unfair, but I don't give a shit because I want to talk about my favorite movie, Beauty and the Beast.
This film brings tears to my eyes every time I watch it. And when I'm smashing Mrs. Biden from the back, I cry too, because she has an absolutely enormous Beauty and the Beast tattoo featuring all the main characters: Belle, Beast, Gaston, and LeFou. Even Mrs. Potts is there.
That's a vivid image which I never knew I didn't need, Joe. But yes, this is an absolutely goated film with memorable songs, Be My Guest, and Something There are legendary songs. Menken and Ashman returned to produce some absolutely fire music. The Gaston song is completely hilarious and catchy, and the animation is amazing. The Beast is a great design because he's scary, but also becomes lovable and sweet. The castle and all the living furnishings have a lot of personality, and really what matters most is the relationship between Belle and the Beast. By all accounts, she shouldn't love him, but the film sells it. We root for him, even though he's a selfish motherfucker at the start.
Couldn't agree more. Fucking goated.
I'd argue this is the best so far. It's going up there as the king of the Chads.
Very reasonable.
Incredibly good shit.
Sadly, Howard Ashman, one of the composers for the movie, got AIDS during the production. It was a great tragedy that he died before seeing the movie completed. It adds extra poignance to the music, knowing that this man was literally fighting for his life while writing one of the most joyful and heartbreaking musical scores of all time. This man felt the music in his soul. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. to a true Chad.
Legends never die.
And after that goated movie, they drop another fucking banger, Aladdin. God, I must have watched this 500 times. Robin Williams is obviously a favorite around here, and by golly, he was an amazing genie. His voice matched the design of the character perfectly.
Well, yeah, they designed the character for him, specifically. I don't know if you've seen Lindsay Ellis's video all about this.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
It's definitely worth watching.
I'll check it out.
But Robin only agreed to be in the film if he wasn't used as a major part of the marketing.
Well, we all know how that went.
Indeed. They used that king's name on every fucking thing they could. This was really the start of the trend of including a celebrity voice to sell a kid's movie. After this, you had Rowan Atkinson, also known as Mr. Bean, as Zazu in Lion King, and of course, James Earl Jones as Mufasa. But then there was Mel Gibson in Pocahontas, and this was before he was, banished from Hollywood for making anti-Semitic remarks.
I love Mel Gibson. He's a Chad, a rare prismatic Chad.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Aladdin had a lot of good shit going for it. Action-packed script, entertaining characters. Plus, Princess Jasmine was, well, she was hot.
I guess so. I love the songs and the energy of this movie. Yes, of course, Robin Williams chatted the shit out his performance, but the rest of the voice actors were amazing too. And the songs, Friend Like Me, A Whole New World, Prince Ali. These are all great songs.
It's a top, Chad. Probably just below Beauty and the Beast. But that's just splitting hairs. This is the real shit. A diamond in the rough, you might say.
You know a lot about the rough, don't you, Donald? I've seen you playing golf.
Don't golf shame him, dude.
Sorry, I just say mean-spirited things sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm not going to pretend it didn't hurt, but I can forgive and forget. Now let's talk the next Chad those sweet bastards made. The Lion King. A fucking roaring. Get it? Good time.
I don't get it.
The Lion King was a truly great movie. It's a story about accepting responsibility and growing up. Simba became entangled in a web of lies that affected his entire life. He grew up unsure about his place in the world once his father died. Really, this film had a lot of mature themes, beautifully constructed to tell a heartfelt and entertaining story. It's about life and death and coming to terms with that. The Circle of Life is a great, soaring song, brilliantly written by Elton John, a legend of his own accord. And it also delivers a message to the children who watched it about the facts of life. Animals, both anthropomorphized and human, die. And it hurts. And you have to keep going. That's what this amazing film was all about.
I like the monkey with the big butt.
Same.
Well, it's got that going for it, too. It receives my chatted stamp of approval. Probably belongs right on top.
Why in the ever-living fuck not?
Now, after this point is when the movies start getting a little bit less beloved. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of love for them, but they definitely don't match up to that absolutely top-tier run from Little Mermaid through to The Lion King. Let's talk Pocahontas, the most sanitized and patently untrue retelling of an actual historical figure, perhaps in the history of cinema.
The romanticized portrayal of Pocahontas by Disney is a deeply disrespectful misrepresentation of a tragic reality. Pocahontas' life was one marred by violence, including rape, kidnapping, and the loss of her husband and child. The English colonizers, including John Smith, were not figures of love, but perpetrators of fear and violence.
I like the little dog and the raccoon sidekicks. They were funny as fuck.
Pocahontas' story is a heartbreaking account of a young girl's brutal victimization, not a romantic tale.
Yeah, plus it hasn't got many good songs.
I think the real Pocahontas was basically captured, brought back to England, forced to marry, and then died of pneumonia at around age 21.
Definitely the perfect love story to tell in a kid's movie. Yeah, this one blows. And even without examining the historical inaccuracies, it's just mid as shit.
It's not good.
It should be in shit tier.
No, the inclusion of Mel Gibson raises it up a notch.
Fine. Now after that, another kind of controversial movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's actually one of my personal favorites, although I recognize it isn't on the Chad level.
Why not? It's got George Costanza in it as a gargoyle.
Well, the music is goated. Honestly, there is no fault with it. Some of the best that Howard Mencken has made, and the themes are dark as fuck. Frollo lusts after Esmeralda about as much as your average Zoomer loves Belle Delphine. There's also themes of damnation.
Yeah, well, God doesn't really approve of simping for a woman you're also trying to commit genocide upon.
How do you know what God approves of?
I'm the president. I have a little chat with him before bed every night.
No. That's your little bear, Mr. Cunningham.
God communicates in mysterious ways, Donald.
Listen, you two. Hunchback has great music and ideas, but it's not a fun romp like the best of them. Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast all include dark themes, but they're delicately balanced with lighter moments, levity, and joy. They encapsulate the whole human experience, and, well, I don't think Hunchback does. But it was a valiant effort, which is beyond the achievements of the vast majority of humans who have ever existed. That's why I'm going to put it in great, because who are we to damn a film so masterfully crafted?
Esmeralda was hot.
True, but I also agree with Obama. So let's talk about Hercules.
For me, this isn't quite as good as the others. I like Hercules himself. Always loved the mythology surrounding him, but they watered it down a lot for the movie.
Hey, come on. This movie had great art direction, a fantastic score featuring upbeat gospel songs, and Danny DeFucking Vito.
It has weak characters. Like Meg, come on. She's so sarcastic it makes the film lack heart.
The heart comes from the naivete of Hercules, trying his best to become a hero and earn his place among the gods.
Look, I like the action, but the music isn't up to scratch. The emotional moments don't hit as good. This is a good movie, 100%, but it's not a Chad. It belongs about here.
Ironic.
What's ironic?
Nothing. It's just ironic that the most Chadliest character, Hercules, has one of the less Chadly movies.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's deep, dude.
Okay, let's rate Mulan. I think this is the best one out of the last few offerings. It's got great music, a menacing villain, and Eddie Murphy was testing the water before moving into Shrek and dominating the voice acting landscape for a generation to come. This film was great because it told a bold adventure story with a lot of humor, sensitivity, and, well, I mean, there was a tiny bit of historical accuracy, but mostly it had great songs and a tight script. This one is high up on the greats.
Yeah, Mulan, unlike Pocahontas, told a more modern, female-centered movie, which wasn't focused on a romance. I do love it. Shame they made that terrible remake, but I guess we'll rank that another day.
I agree that it is great, and then I have to tell you, I think that Tarzan is very, very mid.
Yeah, fuck Tarzan. I never liked it either.
Hey now, a lot of people love it. It's got great...
I don't have time to explain myself. I wanted Domino's.
Fair enough.
This was decent at best.
Fine. Fantasia 2000 was probably mid. I don't know or care. Then Emperor's New Groove was great. Anything with Patrick Warburton is fantastic.
Yes. Emperor's New Groove was a wonderful movie with a great sense of humor. Kronk is great, and John Goodman has such a lovable voice in everything he does. Overall, a great movie. I used to get high and watch the DVD with my boys while playing Smash Brothers.
Okay. Now, Atlantis was a big flop for Disney, and I must admit, I only ever watched it once. I therefore assume it's kind of shitty, so whatever, let's rank it as decent. But I can't really remember shit at all.
If reading our comments has taught me anything, it's that there will be someone who thoroughly disagrees with that assessment and finds it completely unbelievable that you would say such a thing about their favorite movie ever. It's underrated, and you should watch it, they will say. Well, we're not going to. Sorry. Too busy running the country and making tier lists.
So true. Anyway, I think the same of Lilo and Stitch. People love it, but I just don't give a fuck.
It's Lilo.
Lilo?
Yeah, and Stitch.
I don't care. It's mid.
Whatever. I'm going to put it in decent and move to Treasure Planet.
Shit Planet.
Honestly, I don't remember the difference between Atlantis and Treasure Planet. I swear they've both got dorky guys with glasses as the heroes. I don't know. It was probably okay.
I just don't care about it. I really want my Domino's. It had better get here soon.
Let's speed it up then. Brother Bear was nothing. Like, why even rate it? I don't remember it. It's like a ghost.
Good idea. It's in ghost tier.
And Home on the Range is just so awful. I watched it recently with Hunter for some fucking reason, and I just hated it. I hate the designs of the cows. I hate their little perky udders, and I hate the movie. It's shit. The end.
Quick, Jeffrey, get McDonald's on speed dial.
They're already on the line, Master Trump. Would you like me to order the usual?
Yes, goddammit.
We'll have 32 Big Macs, 64 large fries, 12,000 McNuggets, 15 McFlurries, and 18 milkshakes. Yes? Yes, we'll need one of every Happy Meal toy. Dragon Ball Z figurines. Sounds excellent.
Okay, with the food on the way, I can relax. Honestly, dudes, it gets pretty tough out here when I smoke fat bongs of pure cheddar. But we done good today. Thanks for watching. Next time, we'll continue with the computer-animated movies. So many goats, so little time. We love you, Chads. Keep on being exceptional, and smash the fuck out of that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe.